Jeff Slauson here from 19 News Now at the 19 News Digital Desk with some breaking news as far as a fugitive that has been caught in the Northeast Ohio area, and specifically in Euclid, for a crime that they believe he committed in Georgia. I'll show you who we're talking about here. That is 27-year-old Devontae Childs. Now, Childs is wanted by Sandy Springs Police Department. This is in Fulton County, Georgia, for murder. According to police, on August 17th of 2021, Childs shot Yimu Mabiuku 5 times in the back, resulting in that person's death. Another person was shot during the incident but survived, and then a warrant was issued essentially immediately. That was August 17th of 2021. We are now at February 1st of 2024. Investigators in Georgia were alerted potentially that Childs fled the area, and they knew that Childs had some sort of family or personal familiarity with the Cleveland area. So they contacted Ohio, and it took 2.5 years in the investigation for them to start to receive some sort of information. Childs was here on our air with Cuyahoga's Most Wanted for one of our fugitives of the week that last month. Now fast forward to today. Tips started to come in with the belief that Childs was hiding in Euclid. At about 1 p.m., the members of the Marshals office found Childs at a home in Euclid that's at Tungsten Avenue. When they first approached the home, Childs pointed a handgun at them and then went back into the home. So they called Euclid police, they called SWAT, Highway Patrol as well to assist it. Then, eventually, Childs decided to surrender without incident. 2 guns found in the home. Childs is in custody, will be taken back to Georgia, but a very good end to what was a crazy situation here. I want to show you now the conversation that we had with the Marshal's office on this and just how they got this done. If you don't mind just kind of starting, give a background on this situation that at least came to a close kind of earlier today.
Yeah, very violent individual. We've been chasing him for the last 2 years on a murder warrant. We had previewed him as our fugitive of the week, and we got some tips today that led us to Euclid, Ohio. This guy actually shot an individual in the back at a mall outside of Atlanta, and again, we've been pursuing him. You know, really proud of our teamwork today.
What is that type of a pursuit like when it starts in Atlanta and then ultimately ends in Northeast Ohio?
Well, again, very violent individual. And I'm very proud of our guys who worked hard on it. This guy actually pulled a gun on our officers today. We actually called in the SWAT team from the Edge SWAT unit in Ohio State Patrol today to assist with us and execute that arrest warrant. But a violent individual, again, we spotted our guys. He pulled out a gun on them, then went back in the house. But you know, it was great teamwork all the way across the board from Georgia to Ohio.
Is he from here? Does he have a history here? I mean, why this area?
Yeah, he does have a history here. He has relatives in this area. So we knew he had ties to this area. And again, we had previewed him through your station as a fugitive of the week. And, you know, tips led to his arrest today, and I can't stress that enough.
You had mentioned that this is something that was quite some time, right? So a few years ultimately for this. An investigation like that, how thorough does it need to be when the years start to pass more and more?
Well, you never give up. You know, that's one thing we don't do in the U.S. Marshal Service is give up, and we stayed on this all the way through. You know, we're very proud of the work of our team again, our state and local partners and the U.S. Marshal Service working together. And it's, you know, at the end of the day, everything worked the way it's supposed to work. He's in custody.
And it seems, you know, you had said that he'd come out with a gun drawn. For no one to get hurt on that, that does seem pretty, I wouldn't say lucky is the term, but I would say unusual, it almost seems, that everything turned out the way it did. Is that from tactics? Is that from a standpoint of everybody is incredibly well trained to understand how to handle these things? I mean, getting to that point must feel pretty good when it could have gone very, very, very south.
Right, and you know, it's a dangerous situation. Our people in all the time, and I'm just proud of the work they do.
What do you want this to say to the community that potentially was concerned about somebody like that was roaming around in the streets that now is no longer there?
Yeah, I know the residents out there in Euclid felt very safe. Thanks to the Euclid Police Department assisted us today. This individual's in custody. Continue to call in tips through our hotline of 1-866-4wanted. Continue to call in those tips. It is going to make a difference. Take violent fugitives off the streets.
If you don't mind, just really quickly going a tiny bit more into that, many people may not think that the tips actually end up mattering. You're very clearly saying they do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We pay reward money and they matter. Trust me, they matter.
Look, you answered all my questions here. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that we should have?
No, just very violent individual. Again, great teamwork between Euclid, state troopers, the EDGE unit, and my department today, led to this arrest of this violent individual. And, the streets of Euclid are a little bit safer tonight.
So again, you are seeing that man there, Devontae Childs, being moved back from Ohio into Georgia, a massive thing for them. But yeah, they were able to get that fugitive off the streets, what they aim to do, very much so. All right, that is it for our coverage here. We'll have much more on 19 News. Our 7 o'clock newscast is ongoing, so we will see you there. For now, I'm Jeff Sloss with 19 News. Have a great night. Much more to come, both on air and online.
19 News, now streaming on Samsung Smart TV. Search for Channel 1035.